Hey everybody, hope everything is going well out there. Sorry, just dropped some stuff here, so we'll need to pick that up. Yeah, but looking forward to opening some PSA returns. This is Al with El Rey Collection, and talking a little bit about potentially World Cup or other exciting things that are going on here over the next couple. Well, actually, I was going to say a couple of weeks, but really week. And this is just going to be so exciting to see what happens here with the World Cup. So again, sorry I just dropped all these glasses. And I'm ready to go through some of these PSA returns here. All right. So let's give it another second here while I kind of readjust myself here. All right. So, all right, guys. So we got a few people on here looking. Not too many. It is Sunday night after all, but let's see what we got in the boxes. Most of the stuff will be vintage, as that's most of the stuff that I collect. So if you guys got any questions, just dump them on. Dump the questions in the comment section, which I'll get over. Oh, okay. This is very interesting. I've never seen a box like this, but not even sure what that means. Did I win the PSA lottery or not? Who knows? It doesn't appear to be anything else in this box, and it appears to be a big box. So I guess first, let's open this. It says, I think this is their coin service. This is like CU's coin service. Does this seem familiar to anybody? Professional, coin grading service. So this is the other. I didn't send in any coins. Hopefully they're shipping me back the right order. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Well, so we've got, here's the paperwork. This is traditional paraphernalia that we've got going here. Oh, we got a lot of people on Matt's in the grocery store. Yeah, hey, so yes, sorry it's so late for the people over in Europe. So let's okay, so look at and this is Prestige Collectible Japanese. This is exactly what this is. They sent these Starosas in coin holders, which is actually kind of interesting because they are thicker. And in a way, I kind of like these, but this is exactly what it looks like happened to you with some of the Menko stuff. This is for you guys to see. Prestige Collectibles does Japanese baseball cards, and they also have some of these type smaller, cards. And these are thick, and that's probably why they probably more resemble a coin than anything else. So I'd never gotten, in fairness, never submitted something like that. There were two more in here. Oh, so this one was, sorry, this threw me back. So this was Antonio Sastre. It looks kind of cool. I kind of like this. This is interesting. And this is here that we have a PSA representative here, Mr. Matthew Handler. And he says that's for PCGS orders, but this was just done through regular PSA. So not exactly sure what happened there. But look at this, is kind of cool. Adolfo Peronera. It sits really well in there. It's not floating at all. And you can see the back. And this one was a 6MC. And these two were Arico and Sastre were 3s. So that is super, super interesting. We're going to have I'm just going to jump around to some of the comments here, but Have you seen? Yeah, we've been talking about this a little bit on the Discord. The FIFA documentary on Netflix. Yeah, it just makes you. It just makes you so sad. Just the corruption. It's just terrible. It's just. I don't know what else to say besides. I mean, we all kind of knew it, but to kind of see the in depthness and that they're not even done really indicting people, and yeah, so it's sad as all can be for the sport that we love to have it so corrupt. I mean, there's corruption everywhere, but just the extent and just these guys don't really even care for the game. You get the sense. Let's see. So here you go. Yes, about the holder. I think that was. I'll keep leaving these out there. These holders. Yeah, I would rather have that instead of floating around or Newton rings. It's really kind of cool. So kind of enjoy those. And they fit in this tiny little like holder that they sent to me, which is like plastic. I didn't get charged. At least I don't know that I did for that. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so let's see what's in here. Okay, so here you go. This is also following up on some Japanese stuff. Yeah, these are also thicker pogs as well. So the holders they use were different, huh? So yeah, I don't know. I think we're still trying to figure out the rhyme or reason here. Okay, so this first order that we'll go through here was actually received in June 6th. So it's been there for a while, more than 5 months. And these were put in the $50 ones, one of the ones that maybe I won at the lotteries, and it was 31 items, and almost all were Argentine issues, a lot of which had never been previously graded. So let's see. I think roughly half of them got returned because there wasn't a specific editor in these books by some of these experts. By the way, there's a new one. Not that I'm. Let's see what Matt said here. Cards weren't thicker and the holders we used were different. Cover the whole edge. Oh no, hang on. This was wow, lots of stuff going on. They were sent in the wash as you send back with coins. Yeah, those were cool. I love the box. And then I think this is Matt's thing on. Yeah. I mean, and the crazy thing is like the Boeing, the $3 billion or $6 billion order with France right after, and just all that stuff. Yeah, with the gas and the Brazil and yeah, and Russia was just messy. I mean, that whole thing is crazy. So question on DD cards. Yes, I think he's totally underappreciated as a player. He was a player of the tournament in '58. Everybody talks about Pele, super underappreciated, very inexpensive still. So yeah, I like Didi as a player. So yeah, and then here's I mean their return packaging is amazing. This hard plastic, that's nice. It serves as a storage kit going forward. Okay, so let's see what got graded, what didn't get graded. Unfortunately, it looks like quite a bit didn't get graded, and I think we can go through those. This is a nice touch, though, when you open the box and it says, PSA. That's kind of nice. I noticed that in my last couple of orders. And, one thing I'll say is PSA has definitely gotten very, good at now taking issues that are in these Argentine books, and there's a number of them. There's like 4 different books that kind of document the hobby. This is kind of the new one down there. They've been very good about grading issues that have the editor that's very clear, right? So if you have these books and you have the editor clear, I'm noticing a pretty high grade rate on those without having to get the set pre-cleared. So that's just general knowledge out there for those of you who who are thinking about submitting Argentine issues. Most of this order was Argentine orders, and yeah, back to the the Qatar thing. Yeah, it was unbelievable, saying nobody had died and stuff like that for the World Cup, which we all know is false, and the whole thing just felt absolutely slimy, and then and them just talking about how it was like such a deep part of their culture, and what they're ranked like 180, which I guess is where Sports Card Harry says he hopes they get destroyed, that it embarrasses the company. I'm not against you there. Yep, and this was exactly the same point I was making, that saying that nobody died was just or like 3 people or whatever, completely not true, and we know there are thousands of people. So anyway, okay, so this is about cards, but still, it's great to talk about the hobby. I'm wearing, by the way, I don't know if you guys can see, this is the third Mexico kit. Super cool design, I guess. I'm not a fashion model, but this Mexico kit is awesome. I love it. So have that jersey getting ready for the World Cup. For those of you who don't know, my wife is Mexican, so we definitely cheering for Mexico and the U.S., although honestly speaking, neither really have any legitimate chance. Maybe they can get out of the group stage. I guess that would be considered a victory. Okay, so ones that didn't get graded. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of 19. I'll show you guys these. Unfortunately, they're kind of stuck in these. This is from 1960 Arqueros. So you'll see these out and about. These in particular I really liked. These cards, because of it's a really cool pog design. I like the colors. We've got the player names. They're blank backs, but all of these were never stuck. And I got them a number of years ago, and I'm super excited. There's the Di Stefano in them, which is just not a ton of Argentine issues with Di Stefano. So I guess I'm going to have to. This one I don't think has an editor. And I think that's probably the reason why PSA didn't do it. Let me see if I can go back and see if now there is one. Sometimes you can back into the editor based on the address and the time that it was, because they only put it on here. So this one's Arquero. You can see in the book from 1960, and it says Sin datos de la casa editora. So that's going to be tough to do. But it does mention M. Guidini Infierno como as the editores y se declara socios fundadores de Crack. So I don't know. There's seems to be some conflict here, because on the first page it says that M. Guidi and L. Ferreira are the editors. So, and they were the founding people of Crack. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try these again, or use SGC or CSG. But there's a bunch of those. Let's see, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and including this really kind of cool. Again, this is from 1960. This really cool Pele. Again, never stuck. So I had Pele, J.M. Moreno. So anyway, and then we're still talking about some of this stuff over here. Yeah, so they're paying these fans to go and not say anything bad about them, and report anybody who is saying stuff bad about them. It's just so weird, I mean, why be so insecure, I guess, unless you're doing something wrong. So anyway, they didn't grade these. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these 1960s. This was a 31 card submission. They didn't do these either, which this is kind of weird. This is Pony, right? Which I think is I'll have to double check this, because so they didn't grade these either. Let's gosh, I could have sworn I saw these graded before. And then they didn't grade Wow, these are pretty common. These are the Tunos. And this is a La Style and La Bruna. So that is a bit of a bummer. And again, I got to double check to make sure if the other the editor isn't there. And then some of these tins, these chapitas, they didn't grade these, even though these are pretty clearly in the book too. So anyway, so that, and this one was a Sastre. I'm not sure what N9 means. Maybe that's just not. So there's 1, 2, 3 of these, and then the Jam Moreno. Oh, they didn't grade this. That's a real bummer. I wonder why. I think they've graded other ones with this issue. They also didn't put it in a sleeve, which is annoying, and I put mine in a sleeve. So this one of my favorite little cards from Argentina. It does have this chunk cut out of it here. It's like a miscut. But they also didn't grade this. They just said miscut. Well, I mean, don't we have a qualifier for that? So anyway, and then they don't put it back in a sleeve, which I don't happen to have one here. Okay, well, anyway, so that's kind of the bad news. I didn't grade those things. I will take a look at those and decide the plan. They're all pretty much gradable with other grading houses. So I guess I can look at this. But right out of the gates, we get a tremendous blazer here, which is a 1950 Starossa. And this is Norberto Mendez. And look at how beautiful that back, never stuck. Crazy. And it gets, this has got to be the highest rated vintage Argentine Pog in my collection. I couldn't believe it when I saw how perfect. I mean, most of the time these things are miscut, dead on, perfect back. Love it. That's amazing. Following him up, obviously he's not nearly as big of a start. Important player though. Here's Angel Labruna, and that came back in a PSA 6. Again, blazer of a back, never stuck. Beautiful. Only had a couple of those, and then this one, dang it. Look at this Labruna. He's kind of off on his side. So here, we'll put this one here. Here's the Labruna. This is a Klondike, which is from 1951. And this came back a 5. Again, never stuck. That's pretty big. But here, this is a little bit better, even if he's top side. So there you go. There's Klondike. That's great. And then in 45 and 46, there were these El Campeon cards, and these, the ones that I have are taken out of an album. So we have a Rico here. You can see this blank back, but you can see some of the residue. Doesn't bother me that much, because they're blank backs. And then here we had Pedernera in 1945. This one got a 6. So was this one never stuck? I thought all these were stuck. Oh, I guess this one was never stuck. It was the other. This one was definitely stuck, and there were some other ones as well that were like this. Shouldn't have a 3. This is 3 miscut, but clearly unstuck. So this should be a 2. When you're getting a 2 anyway, I'm not sure why you need the miscut. I mean, yes, not all the letters are on the top, which happens frequently in the Argentine issues. But for me, I would just call it a 2. Don't call it a 3 miscut. That's, to me, again, I'm not a professional grader. So that 8 on the Mendes, again, for those of you who didn't see that, that's insane. I mean, it is insane card. I mean, so good, and just such a beautiful back, which is actually rare in the so here's the same issue that the Jam Moreno was from. Here's a 4, also never stuck, Pedernera. Beautiful, beautiful card. So it doesn't have the little divot out of it like the other one, like the Jan Moreno. But still, I thought they should have graded that. But beautiful. I love these little shields. And they come in this set, which is the 42 to 44 set. They come in depending on the shield of the team. So there's this shield, then there's like a balloon one for like Huracan. Then there's, let me see if I have any different shapes in here. No, not in this order, but they have like 3 or 4 different shapes, and this is one. This is the shield shape. This is my favorite, but the other ones are just as amazing. So pretty excited to have some of these really, really cool Argentine cards back. So here's the other one from 53, 54, 53, 54, crack, and here's a Jan Moreno. That's a 2. Never stuck though. So these never stuck Argentine ones from the 40s and 50s are insane. Just super, super hard to get. And then here's another Labruna and a 1. And this also was never stuck. So, but it's 1, but it's pretty thrashed. Still crazy to see never stuck items out of Argentina. And then we have some of these really nice little chocolatin Laponillas. This one right here is Labruna, Angel Labruna. These are blank backed. These are cardboard. These are not to be confused with the very similarly looking 1935 tins that are basically have the same layout. Oh, look at this Rico, beautiful 3. This one is never stuck. So these blank backs, but look at how nice that little card is. Oh, love it, love it, love it. And then I think this maybe there's a 1941 Pirata, but Carlos Sosa. This is a 4 MK. Huh. I'll have to look to see where the MK come in, but I didn't see that, and I thought this had a good chance of a 4. But anyway, 4 MK, so somewhere they must have seen an ink dot. Bizarre. And actually some weird stuff going on inside the holder. Like, I don't know if you guys can see these little pieces of something. Okay, I'll take a closer look at that. And then really cool, super fun, 1941 Leonidas da Silva, the Balas Futebol. Really clean back on this one. Super happy to have this. It got a 2. Yeah, there's some kind of staining here on the front, I guess. But this is really, there's probably some paper loss here on the back, but still super happy to have this Leonidas. So very, very cool on that segment. So unfortunately we got in total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 of the 31 on this order from June were not graded, and I guess that's the remainder. 16 were. Of that, we had 13 of them in the traditional holders like this, and then we had 3 in the new, or I guess maybe not even new, this what is it, PGS, oh gosh, PCGS holders. So pretty cool. All right, so that's the first order, which was pretty much all Argentine and 1 Brazilian card. That was, I think it is a really nice Leonidas, and I love, look at that accent. Gosh, this guy's so educated, this Mr. Matthew Hendler. He's got this, speaks Portuguese, works for PSA. You know, he's a mover in the hobby. For those of you who don't know him, I recommend following him on both Instagram and his YouTube channel as well, which he occasionally posts some stuff. All right, so I'm going to now move on to the second order, which was in this box. And again, I'm sorry, folks. I didn't know what these orders were. These boxes just came in, and I have not been checking it. I'm going to get a couple more here in the next couple weeks as well. I know I have some orders that have been there, unfortunately, for a while. And I think they're getting close. So let's take this one out, see what's supposed to be in it. And in the meantime, let me know if you guys got any questions, plans for the. I'm so excited for the World Cup. I hope everybody is. I mean, despite all the craziness, it's just going to be fun to see what happens out there. Okay, so this is a very small order, 12 items, and it is at the $50 level, and I don't know how this one is going to go, but we'll see. We'll go through it. Looks like they didn't. Again, something did not get graded. Let's take a look. I do like how when they send them back, they have, they're protected. There's a card inside. Oh, this is a bummer. So this is the Vicena Portuguese sticker, which I still don't understand why this has not been graded. It comes out of we have the complete album. We have everything on the sticker, but for whatever reason, it's just not being graded. So, not sure why, but it looks like that's the only one of the 12. So let's pull these and then make sure there's nothing there. All right, so here we go. And this was submitted, just so people sometimes ask how long things are. This went August 11th, which is going to be right after the National. So there's probably a backup August 11th. So August, September, October, November, 3 months at the what level? $50 level 2. So these are not inexpensive cards. Okay. So here we go. So the very first one is Diego Maradona, 78 crack. I love this sticker. It's funny. Many of you who follow the U.S. may have noticed that Pepe, one of our young forwards, did not make the team this year. He was looking really good in MLS, went over to Germany, didn't look so well, and ultimately didn't make the team. Plus, there's always politics on. All right, yeah. See you, Matt. Have a good rest of your Sunday night. The politics of who gets picked on a team. Well, so Pepe's one of the last guys to get cut. So was Maradona in 78, and they'd already made his World Cup sticker, right? So they'd already made his World Cup sticker, and he, unfortunately didn't make the team, but the sticker still exists. And in the same way, in the 2022 World Cup album, Pepe has his sticker, his Panini sticker, but again, he didn't make the team. And so, I sent a couple of these in. These got ones. This one has some paper loss or extra paper here on the top. This one had a little bit of a pinhole or something, or a little marking over here. But generally pretty dang good eye appeal for Maradona, ones. I really think these are good. I love this sticker's long run potential. Maradona didn't make his team. Here's the 1.5. So in total, a trio of Maradona rookie cards now graded 1 and 1.5. So, I think these are really kind of cool stickers. They're very inexpensive now. Well, on a relative basis to what they had been and where they are. So if you see these out and about, This and the disc are my two favorites, but there's a number of early Maradonas that are all worth picking up. So there's some Maradonas in the collection. We've got it's a little painful now, especially given where these prices have been going. This is to pay $50 for this. This one I thought had a chance at like a 7. I know that it's a little off center, but I saw no paper crinkling on the front, and it was just super clean on the corners. So I was really hoping this could get a good grade. It got a 4, which is a bit of a disappointment. I'm not going to lie. This I did expect these Cafu rookies to get basically 3s to 4s, and this one got a 3. There's some surface bending that you can see in a certain light, from what I recall, that just make it's not flawless. Still great eye appeal on an absolutely legendary, Brazilian defender. Expected to get 3 to 4, and I got a 3 and a 3.5. So you can't complain about that, even if you're always hoping to get the 4. So a couple Cafus. This one is disappointing. And I am a little perplexed. I went over this pretty carefully, and yet it gets a 2 as if it has paper loss, and this was never stuck. So Roberto Carlos, and I can't get anything on the surface right here. I can put it under 10, a 10x loop, and see if I get something. But unfortunately on this one, that's a disappointment. So all of these Brazilian stickers that I said I would not have I should not have put under a $50 order each with these results, because now they're only a couple $100 worth of stickers anyway, and a $50 is just too big of a percentage of value to go into to the slab. Here, if you're paying $50 and it's worth 800, 900, you're paying 4-5%, at the top end, if it's worth $1,000 for your $50 submission. That seems to make sense to me. At these lower grades, these will not make sense. So you have to send them in thinking that you're going to get a 5 or higher, and the Cafus I kind of expected a 4, but was willing to do it since I was sending them in anyway. But it is what it is. You can't win them all for sure. Well, this I'm super excited about. This is the Fernando Peroteo rookie card. And for those of you who don't know, he's one of the most prolific scorers of all time. And this comes from a 1936-37 album, so Universal. And this is the Asas de Futbol. And I actually have, through time, found 2 copies of his rookie sticker, and I got them both rated, and I'm super excited. I actually think the centering on the 1.5, I mean, when you're talking about these grades, the centering on the 1.5 is better than the 2, but these are just super rare, super exciting stickers for one of the most underrated pre-war scorers ever. And I love the hairdo. I love the photograph. And this album is also crazy. So this is Asas de Football. The next year they came out with the Asas do Desporte, and it's using what appears to be the same photo at a different angle, but they have this really cool lettering up here, Asas de Desporto, and you can see him playing for Sporting right here. So this is really this is one of my favorite cards in my collection. I just love this. And I think he's an absolute legend. These cards are like really hard to find. So again, I've been searching for these cards for 12 years, 15 years, whatever, and I found 3. There are other ones that he has in the 40s that become slightly more easy to find. But the easiest one, if you want to go to like rookie material, is his 1938 Koenig. Those are available, and you see them pop up every 2-3 months, I'd say, at a PWCC auction. So, but for now, these and the Leonidas are some of the highlights of this submission. So some really cool Fernando Peroteo cards. Super excited about this. And then this is the last one. Wow, these kind of flew here, guys. So this one is Mario Kempes. And as most people know, he was a star of the 1978 World Cup. This is his rookie Pog. This is coming through in a PSA 6. These are really hard to find in never stuck condition. So I'm gonna guess that this has a potential to be the highest graded. I'll kind of search here and just double check while we're chatting here, or you guys have any additional questions, comments that we can go over, because I think that that Kempes is just a really, really tough Pog. He has a 75 where it's more traditional rectangle, but this one is no doubt his rookie. So let's see what the Pop Report has. They have 1974 crack. 1974 crack. And we get 74. Sometimes these are just hard to find on the website, on the PSA website. But anyway, it's a very, very important, set, and one that Fulbito discs. 1974. Why is this not showing up? Let's see if I can do a player search. Mario Kempes. So for whatever reason, I can't find it in the Pop Report right now for PSA. But here we go. So 123 is the number. Yep. So it's there's 1-6, which is this is it. 1-4, 1-2, 1-1.5, and 1-1, and 1-1 with a qualifier. So there's 6 graded right now, and the 6 is the highest. So again, pretty happy to have that one. So yeah, so I got a lot of other comments here. Sorry guys, I was trying to search this up. Yeah, thank you. These are like really, really awesome, especially the Peroteo stuff. This is crazy. Thanks, Soccer Cards. I love, by the way, that Pele 1959. That's amazing that you have on your icon. I have a red one of that, but I don't have the blue. It's a pretty cool card there. Other comments, yeah, I don't know how many. Like, this card is one of the top in the world right now graded. It doesn't mean necessarily it'll stay that way forever. In fact, most likely won't, as more and more cards get graded. But I do tend to have, in many cases, a lot of, if not the top grade, a lot of rare cards that are pretty difficult to find. So yeah, and it's a lot of work and a lot of fun, and frankly, recently a lot of a lot of money, unfortunately. But yeah, so that's it. I mean, we had some pretty amazing stuff. I think these were some of the highlights for sure. The Leonidas, some super rare. The Carlos Sosa, La Ponilla is amazing. I mean, who doesn't like Paraguay's all-time leading goal scorer, Arsenio Rico? And by the way, Argentina's leading, the Argentine league's leading goal scorer in all history, a Paraguayan, right? I mean, that is pretty dang cool. Players for the Machina, like LaBruna again. Of course, the legendary Jan Moreno. Great stuff. I mean, this is just, I love the fact that PSA is is grading a lot of this stuff that they didn't used to do. And yeah, it takes some time, but I think it's worth it, and it'll all pay off for all of us in the hobby over the long run. This is just going to shock me forever to get an 8 on a 1950s issue from Argentina. I mean, it is beautiful, and I thought I saw it, and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with this, but it'll get a 4 for something, and guess what? An 8. Crazy. If you guys don't know who Norberto Mendez is, Google him. Amazing player. Again, some cool Klondike cards. I mean, just, I'm so happy to have these, and happy that they're in PSA holders. So, for many years, not a lot of this stuff wasn't graded. And so it's just nice to have them kind of protected. If my wife ever wonders what it is, she can read up at the top. So we'll have that covered as well. So, that's the question, do I read many books on these players? Yeah. So I don't read a ton of full books on them. I usually read, what I can find, chapters or two. I read, I haven't actually, I'm trying to think. The last full book I read was on the soccer was Miracle on Grass, which was about the 1950 U.S. team that beat England. And that, of course, obviously would incorporate more than just one player. It's about the U.S. team and all of those guys and how they came up. And Joe Jatens and the Sosa brothers and all those guys. So, and I just don't think, I mean, I have other books, like right now. I recently got, I got this, this, I know this isn't, soccer, but this is on, Fangio, the F1 driver. So I've been, going through this, and amazing stories here in this 1942 race in the South American Championship. So yeah, I just, I love history. I love learning about different things. I don't have as much time as I would like. Otherwise I would read a lot more about the players, but I the little bit that I read continuously has added up over the last 12, 15 years to where I have a pretty strong knowledge base of a lot of the most important players, at least who I consider the most important players over the last 120 plus years of professional football. And that's kind of how I've gotten to collect 500 players. A lot of people will collect 10 players or collect clubs only, and I just find that so limiting to me, because I read about a story, whether it's in Alessandro de los Santos, the first African player on the Argentine team, that means something to me, and then I want to collect his cards and stickers. So so that's kind of how I end up collecting so many different players, because I love the history and I love learning about them. Unfortunately, not a lot of things are available to go into deep depth of all sorts of different players that I'd love to learn more of. But thanks for asking. And yeah, I think that's the best way to start to learn is seeing what's out there in terms of books. You can start with basic stuff like Wikipedia, or just Google searches that can show you the articles. There's a great one on Fernando Peroteo, a little short article about his that I've posted before on the Discord that just potentially sparks people's interest. So maybe I'll scan these cards, post them on the Discord, and attach that story again, because I think it's really fun stuff. So he and so I'm definitely not as bad as Ray, who doesn't watch soccer yet has an astoundingly good soccer collection. I'm not sure he watched the F1 race this morning, but he can build good collections without watching or reading the book. So I'm sure he's laughing at that. But hey, to each their own. I personally love to read about the stories and really kind of absorb them, and then kind of decide who I'm going to collect and who I'm not. It's like it's hard to buy for instance, a Tull Harder card, for me, who ultimately made his probably one of the best German soccer players in the 1920s, but unfortunately became notorious for his time in the SS. I do appreciate, history and the history of the game, but some things are just a little tougher to get to than to really want to collect certain players, although they were what they were, right? So there's nothing else we can say that. So um a lot of people say that. So this is this is Ray. He doesn't watch any soccer. I don't think he watches any Formula One. He can let you know there. But he has a massive collection. Not really interested in the in the sport very much, but interested in collecting it. And I think there's all sorts of combinations of that. Some people who just love the sport don't care about collecting, and other people, which I didn't know exist before Ray, that like the collecting but don't like the sport. But this is what I got to give him an opportunity to say this. And he invests in Tesla and doesn't own a Tesla car. Fair enough. I know, although I think that stock's been pretty battered this year, so hopefully your basis was a little lower, and you got in early days as opposed to the beginning part of this year. So, all right. Well, that was it. Lots of fun Argentine stuff here today. Some fun, Portuguese stuff. It's just all fun. So again, I'll be getting back a number of PSA shipments here in the next couple weeks, and I will post those things when things come up. We'll be in the middle of the World Cup. Thank you, Jeremy. Thanks, Ray. And he just wanted to clarify he actually does watch F1. So, and I don't know, Ray, if you saw, unfortunately, the sadness of the sticker that I submitted that did not get graded, which we already discussed in the Discord. But yeah, this sticker still not graded, even though it should be. Thank you, everybody. Hope everybody has a good Sunday night, and we'll see each other on the Discord or out there. Stay safe, and have a good night. See you, everybody.